What's up, everybody? Thursday night, last break of the night. This is a case break of Leaf Metal Baseball 2025. 12 boxes in the break. Break number is 765 BD. If you're not looking for 765 BD, you're in the wrong place. Yeah, all the spots got sold, my friend. Sorry, DFAB or FAR. Boxes in the break. There we go. 12 boxes. Let's do it like this. 4 and 2, 4 and 2. That's a total of 12. All right, my friends, here we go. Let's get these where I want them. If they start to mess up the focus on the cards, I'll move them. Here we go. Box number 1. Where is my sweat card? There she is. Printing plate 1 of 1 on the bottom. 2 base cards on top. Here we go. Chase Burns is our first base card. Chase Burns. That is 7 out of 49. Anderson Brito. 57 out of 99. First auto, Carter Holton on the Diamonds in the Rough auto. 8 out of 15. 8 out of 15, Carter Holton. Griffin Burkholder. 12 out of 35. 12 out of 35. AJ Garcia is next in line. AJ Garcia. Next in line, AJ Garcia, 5 out of 49. Next in line, that is Nolan Souza. Next in line, 27 out of 49. And we got a 1 of 1 printing plate. And it's a dual auto of Otis Nixon and David Justice. We pulled this card out of the last break. It went to the David Justice spot. Maybe Otis Nixon's trying for some redemption on the 1 of 1 printing plate. Sick. Box number 2. Looks like we got a die cut in there. Our 2 base cards. Jeff Bagwell, that should be to 99. And Steve Monster Millam, also should be to 99. All these base cards will be top loaded after the break. Cam Koziel. Cam Koziel on the red next in line. Red Ice 3 out of 10. Nice hit for the Cam Koziel spots. Next are die cut. That is the top 100. Felnine Celestin. Felnine Celestin. I know he plays for the Seattle Mariners. After that, I don't know much about this kid. There we go. That is number 24 out of 35. 24 of 35. Josue De Paula. Diamond in the rough purple. That is 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. This young man's in the Dodgers organization. Dontrelle Willis. How about we go throwback on this one? What you talking about, Willis? Dontrelle Willis. How about 2 out of 2? 2 out of 2 on the Dontrelle Willis auto. Purple lasers. Last card of box 2. First round gems. That is Chase Burns for the Cincinnati Reds. Chase Burns spot getting a nice auto. 21 of 49. 21 of 49. Box number 3. Our base cards. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. Vlad Guerrero. That is 18 out of 99. And Trey Yesavage on the tie-dye. Trey Yesavage 4 out of 5 on the tie-dye. Got a little cracked ice for Jurrangelo Cijntje. Jurrangelo Cijntje. Cannot remember where he is. I think he's either Seattle, 18 out of 25, or I can't remember. I'm not even going to guess. Maybe the White Sox, something. No, he's with Seattle, I'm pretty sure. Braylon Payne. Braylon Payne on the next auto. 4 out of 35. This young man's in the Milwaukee organization, if I remember right. Anderson Brito. Anderson Brito. That one is 28 out of 49. 28 of 49. I think Houston. Alejandro Rosario. Diamond in the rough red. Alejandro Rosario 1 out of 15. I want to say he's a Red Sox, but I can't be sure. But congratulations to the Alejandro Rosario spot. Nice auto to 15. And our last of box 3. That is Ava Arquette. Ava Arquette. 5 out of 35. Box number 4. 2 base cards. One looks gold like it could be a 1/1. We got Braylon Payne. Braylon Payne. That is a red 4/25. Carter Johnson. Carter Johnson gold. That is a 1/1 Carter Johnson gold. Put it there. Gold base card. First auto. Next in line, Theo Gillen. Theo Gillen next in line. 8/35. 8/35. Steve Monster Millam. Steve Monster Millam on the red ice. Red ice, I think, is to 10. It is 1/10. Straight red of Ryan Waldschmidt. Ryan Waldschmidt. 14/15. Got another cracked ice here. Diamond in the rough tie-dye cracked ice of Rafael Flores. Rafael Flores. 15/25. 15/25. And we got a next in line. Oh, that's sick. Next in line, hyper of Rintaro Sasaki. Rintaro Sasaki. 9/10. This kid's still in college at Stanford University. What a monster he's going to be. Box number 5. How about Donnie Baseball /99? Donnie Baseball, 75/99. Cooper Pratt. Nice one here. Nice Cooper Pratt, young prospect. 2/49. We got a blue of Braylon Doty. Braylon Doty, I believe he's with the Cleveland Guardians. That is 1/25. 1/25, Braylon Doty. Green, the color of money. Diamond in the rough of Chase Mobley. Chase Mobley. 1/7. 1/7. Red. Ichedri Vargas. Ichedri Vargas. Junction Collectibles. Gerangelo was with Seattle, right? Did I have that right? Is that who you're talking about, bud? Ethan Anderson, Blue Ice. That is 5 out of 15. 5 out of 15 on the Ethan Anderson. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Okay, I thought so. Okay. And who's with the Rangers that I got wrong? Who were you talking? Who was I talking about? Was with the Rangers. Oh, Rosario? Okay. Got it. Well, somebody's going to like this one, and they're going to like it a lot. Whoever has this spot, we got a die cut, 1 of 1, gold vinyl of Travis Bazzana. Yeah, I wasn't sure. You're right. Travis Bazzana, number 1 pick in the draft to the Cleveland Guardians. 1 of 1 gold vinyl dingers. Woo! That is some sick stuff right there. That one definitely makes the board. Bang, zoom to the moon, Alice. There we go. Woo-wee! Congratulations to the Travis Bazzana spot. Box number 6. Thanks, Junction. I appreciate you, buddy. You're always got my back. Next 2, we got John Schmaltz. 32 of 49. And how about Hells Bells Trevor Hoffman? And that's to 99, 16 of 99. All right, we got some red ice. Red ice, Griff O'Farrell. Griff O'Farrell. 9 out of 10. I think he's with Baltimore, if I remember right, for this guy. Juan Nunez. Juan Nunez. 42 of 49. Straight red of Hall of Famer Jack Clark. Hall of Famer Jack Clark. Straight red. 8 out of 15. He was a home run and a half, this guy. The power he had at the bat was amazing. Red ice of Brody Brecht. Another nice young prospect. This one's for the Cleveland Guardians. That's who, Colorado Rockies. 9 out of 10. Nice hit for the Brody Brecht spot. And then we got another randomizer coming up. Nice, looked like a dual auto. No, it's a triple. I like the color of the hats, because one looks like a Padre, one looks like a Pirate, and one looks like it could be anything black. But let's see what we got. Good luck. Triple auto. Boston Bateman, Cash Mayfield, and Juan Nunez on the triple auto. Wow. Sick. 1 out of 10. Boston and Bateman is San Diego. Boston Bateman I thought was San Diego. So is Cash Mayfield. I know that. Juan Nunez, I'm not sure. Maybe Houston? But that's a nice triple auto. That'll be random at the end. Alright, while I'm opening box 7, I'll make my first announcement. I want to thank you all for being here. I also want to thank you for participating and purchasing multiple spots. And if you just purchase one spot. But here is the skunk situation, guys. If you skunk in the break, in other words, if you have one spot and you don't hit anything, that's a skunk. If you have 10 spots and those 10 spots you don't hit anything, that's a skunk. If you have 10 spots and you hit one spot, you have not skunked because you hit one spot. If you skunk, I will be sending you something in the mail. Please do not request your refund for your shipping because we have to send you something, and we have some really cool little skunk packs that I send out and make for people. So here we go. First base card is Roger Clemens. That is a blue one to 49, 1 out of 49. And then the second one is a red, Jefferson Rojas. And that is 24 of 25. Again, all of these base cards will be top loaded after the break. Let's get on to our first auto, because that's all we want is some nice autos. And that is Liam Peterson. Liam Peterson on the auto. This one looks like it's to 35. 3 out of 35. 3 out of 35. Next up, we got Levi Sterling. This young man is in the Pirates organization. Levi Sterling, 32 out of 35. I'm not sure if he's up with the majors right now, but I know he was a good top prospect for them. We have a blue hyper diamond in the rough of Kyle DeBarge. Kyle DeBarge, 5 out of 7. 5 out of 7. This one looks like another blue hyper, or that's purple hyper, of Kalen Culpepper. Young prospect for the Minnesota Twins. 1 out of 3. Kalen Culpepper, 1 out of 3. And our last card of box 7 is James Tibbs. This is him in his Giants uniform. He's no longer with the Giants. 31 of 49. But that is still a nice rookie auto there of James Tibbs. Nice hit for the Tibbs spot. Let me grab some more top loaders. We'll keep going on to box number 8. Box number 8. Two base cards. First one, Mike Sirota. Mike Sirota. 8 out of 99. And then we got Hall of Fame pitcher Jim Kaat. Jim Kaat pitched for the Minnesota Twins back in the day. 17 out of 25. Our first auto. This one's a nice ice. First round gem. That's Bryce Rainier. Bryce Rainier, first round gem. Do not remember where he went. That is 23 out of 25. I think it's Detroit, but I'm not sure. Brandon Sprout on the red ice. This one I am sure. This guy is with the Mets organization. Nice hit for the Brandon Sprout spot. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Next up, we got another die cut. It is top 100. That is Hagen Smith. Hagen Smith on the top 100s. This young man's in the White Sox organization. 24 out of 35. I do pretty good Junction Collectibles about my players in the baseball. That is the one thing I really love doing baseball. So 24 of 35. Diamond in the Rough. That's Alfredo Senna. Alfredo Senna. Do not know where this young man is. 12 out of 25. And our last card. Thanks, buddy. Out of box number 8, it's Ethan Conrad. Next in line blue. Or is that purple? I can't tell. It looks purple. Ethan Conrad, 7 out of 25. And that's another one I do not know where he is. He could still be in college for all I know. All right. How about we stack these up? Final 4. There we go. Still got that beautiful Travis Bazzana 1 of 1. That is just sick. Final 4 boxes. Then we will do a randomizer for a couple of cards. And then we'll recap. Ethan Anderson is the first base card to 99. Ethan Anderson, 75 of 99. And then Kennedy Corona, 37 of 99. First auto. Diamond in the Rough. That is Miguel Bleis. This young man, I believe, is in the Red Sox organization. He could have been traded because the Red Sox traded a lot of people in the last 6 months. 4 out of 15. He might have been part of some of those bigger trades. But that's Miguel Bleis, if I remember right, in the Red Sox organization to 15. Here is a next in line, Dexter McClellan Jr. Dexter McClellan Jr. I think he's still in college. 17 out of 35. Another next in line. That is Brady Ebel. I don't know where he's going to college, but the last I heard, this young man was still in high school last year. That is how prospected this young man is. Brady Ebel, next in line. Junction, if you happen to know anything about Brady Ebel, if he picked a college or if he's still a senior in high school this year, but he's 19 out of 25, but he is a huge prospect. Brewers, Big City. Who's with the Brewers? Which one? Was that McClellan with the Brewers? Ebel? Brewers? Okay. Brady got drafted by the Brewers. Okay. But he's going to college, right, guys? I mean, he is going to go to college before he just goes into the majors, right? Okay. Got it. Yeah, that kid is... Yeah, they drafted him as a senior in high school. Dean Moss. Dean Moss. Next in line. Blue. 2 out of 25. Yeah. So Brady Ebel, drafted by the Brewers. Nice. And our last card of box number 9. How about Roman Anthony for the Red Sox? Roman Anthony spot. There you go, my friends. 42 out of 49. 42 out of 49. Box number 10. Brewers signed him to a contract. So is he going to forego college and go to the go to minors? That's crazy. Two base cards. Here we go. There's Kyle Teel. He was a prospect for the Red Sox who's now been traded to the White Sox. He's with the White Sox now. Kyle Teel. 425. 4 out of 25. He was a big Red Sox prospect catcher. And they put a deal together, send him to the White Sox. And then Cam Cannarella. And Cam Cannarella looks like it's probably the 49 to 99 on the base. I don't know why I top-loaded the base cards. I got bored. We got distracted talking about Brady Evil. How about this young man, Quentin Young? Quentin Young on the green ice. 1 out of 6. Nice one there. Quentin Young. Not sure where he is, but I know I heard the name. Peyton Toll. Peyton Toll. 36 out of 49. Owen Hall. This young man is with the Detroit Tigers. Owen Hall. Detroit Tigers organization. He's going to be pretty good. They got high hopes for this young man. 44 of 49. Luke Dickerson. Luke Dickerson. Yeah, Red Sox. Oh, Quentin Young is Red Sox. 4 out of 49. And our last card of box 10. Weihaiwa Aloy. Weihaiwa Aloy. Isn't he with like the Phillies or something? Phillies organization, this kid? Aloy. 37 out of 49. Toll is with the Red Sox. Okay. Box number 11. Nice. I did not know that, Sam. I am. Jared Thomas. Jared Thomas on the base card blue. 49 out of 49. Zaire Hope on the red. Zaire Hope. 1 out of 25. First auto. Brendan Summerhill. Brendan Summerhill. I'm basing that off the uniform, probably Cardinals. That one I'm basing off the uniform. 11 out of 49. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. How about him again? That is 2 breaks in a row we've pulled a David Justice auto. Dude, he must know that I was a big fan of his as a kid. 21 of 35. We also have the dual auto with him and Otis Nixon. Chalk it up to Dale Murphy. Hall of Famer. Played for the Atlanta Braves. Dale Murphy. That's sick. That is a sick card. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 on the chalk it up. That's really cool. That is really cool card. Wellington Herrera. Wellington Herrera, diamond in the rough. 25 out of 49. And our last card is another die cut. It is another die cut. Dingers. It doesn't look like a 1-of-1 this time, but it is a Hall of Famer. Eddie Murray on the dingers. Eddie Murray on the dingers. And this one is 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Die cut dingers, Eddie Murray. And our last box. We're going to put Bazana right there for everybody to see. Final 5 autos. Final 2 base cards. Here we go. Good luck to everybody. Again, Skunk, please do not message me for a refund on your shipping. I will ship you something. And a skunk is if you don't hit anything on any of your purchases. If you have 10 spots and you hit 1 out of those 10, it is not a skunk. Here we go. Roy Oswalt, purple. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. 1 out of 10. Rock Chalosky. Isn't Rock with Kansas City? Didn't he get... I think he's with Kansas City, Rock. Our first of the last 5 autos. Here we go. There's a nice one. Caleb Lomavita. Caleb Lomavita. He's at UCLA. Oh, so he's still at UCLA? He didn't go into draft Big City? I remember the College World Series. I saw him in there, but okay, he hasn't been drafted. Okay, that's good. That's good. I remember when they got eliminated, he had a hell of a game, but they still got beat. So, Caleb Lomavita, he's with the Washington Nationals. 22 of 35. I thought he got drafted. Expected to be the number 1 pick this year? Okay. Thank you, Big City. Appreciate you, buddy. Trey Yesavage. This young man, I believe, is in the Toronto Blue Jays. He's in the NIL. Okay. Trey Yesavage, I think he's in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. 13 of 15. Ben Hess. Ben Hess, he's in the Yankees organization. 41 of 49. I got a die cut here that looks really cool. And I'm thinking about saving for last, but I want to see the last one first. Yeah, I'm going to save that one. That is Xavier Nayans. Xavier Nayans on the lasers. 1 out of 5. And our last card of the break is another die cut. It is a top 100 purple. Looks like purple ice. Purple ice top 100. This one's in the Angels organization. That is Christian Moore. Christian Moore in the Angels organization. Purple lasers top 100. Number 2 out of 2. I cannot believe we had a whole break without a one. Oh, we had one 1-of-1 autograph, and it's sitting up there. All right, there is the break. We got 2 randoms, 2 randomizers to do. Let me get them set up real quick, and then I'll get you guys on your way. Good night, Junction. Let me get this set up real quick. Won't take long. There's only 2 tonight. All right. First one set. Second one is set. All right, guys. eBay, you're coming with me. YouTube, I'm going to switch you guys over right now. All right. Here we go. Come on. Thank you. All right. eBay, I'm going to zoom you in. Dice got to be 5 or higher, my friend. 5 or higher. Here we go. 10 times on the dice. First one. Boston Bateman, Cash Mayfield, and Juan Nunez. 10 times. 1. We got 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last time 10 times. 10 times on the random. It's going to the Cash Mayfield spot. Otis Nixon, David Justice. 10 times. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last time. 10 times. 10 times on there. It's going to David Justice again. David Justice on the spots. There we go. Come back over here. We'll get our recap in now in a second. Let's come back here. Turn that off. All right, there we go. Let me grab my handy dandy notebook. Alright, so we got Dave Justice. I don't remember ever him being called Dave Justice when I was watching him play as a kid. And then Cash Mayfield. All right, here we go. We'll put those down there. Starting with numbered to 49. Numbered to 49. Here we go. We got Ben Hess, Wellington Herrera, Brendan Summerhill, Ray Wihawa Aloy, Luke Dickerson, Owen Hall, Peyton Toll, Roman Anthony, James Tibbs, Juan Nunez, Anderson Brito, Chase Burns, that is Nolan Souza, and AJ Garcia. Sorry, eBay, I should have zoomed you in a little bit. Here we go, second stack. Caleb Lomavita, Dave Justice, that is Dexter McClellan. There's Hagen Smith, Levi Sterling, Liam Peterson, Theo Gillen, Ava Arquette, Braylon Payne, Feline Celestin, Griffin Burkholder. That was to 35. These are to 25. Man, how many do we have sideways? Okay. Our sideways, Brady Ebel, Dean Moss, Ethan Conrad, and that is Bryce Rainier. We have Braylon Doty, Rafael Flores, Gerangelo Shinche, and Alfredo Sena. To 15, Trey Savage, Miguel Blyce, Jack Clark, Ethan Anderson, Ichendry Vargas, Ryan Waldschmidt, Alejandro Rosario, Carter Holton. To 10, Eddie Murray, chalk it up to Dale Murphy, Brandon Sproul, Brody Brecht, Griffo Farrell, Rintaro Sasaki, nice hit right there, Steve Monster Millam, Josue De Paula, and Cam Koziel. These are to 7. Kyle DeBarge, Chase Mobley. To 6, Quentin Young. To 5, Xavier Nayans. To 3, Kalen Culpepper. To 2, Christian Moore and Dontrell Willis. Our 1/1 base card was Carter Johnson, and our 1/1 we will show in a moment after we go through this one to the Cash Mayfield spot for that triple auto. That one is numbered 1/10. Dave Justice spot on the 1/1 dual auto printing plate, and then our hit of the break, 1/1 gold vinyl, true gold vinyl dingers die cut of Travis Bazana. There is your break, my friends. I hope you guys hit. Again, if you did not, I will get you guys something in the mail. And you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to y'all later.